Hello, everybody. In the following episode, we talked to a band called Zarf. So, after taking a long hiatus, I cannot be happier to release this episode. So, I met this band through a friend of mine. Nasser introduced me to the band and luckily got in touch with the vocalist of the band, uh, Sayed Farooqzadi, in Australia. And the rest of the band lives in Pakistan. So, we had this three-country podcast kind of situation. So, there's some technical difficulties happening. But at the same time, we had a great conversation. And it couldn't be a better time as they released their new album. Here's a sneak peek of their new album and our wonderful conversation with Zarf.
खोया तूने उसे जिससे दुनिया तेरी आग के शोलों में मैं ढूंढ रहा हूँ अकेला कब से बेहोश है अधूरा सा मंजर है चाहूं मैं और भी वो रात दिन बुलाओ ना कभी वो रात दिन चाहूं मैं देखो आस पास हर पल है हंसी वो था बचपन जो ना रहा
Welcome, guys. Welcome to Hybrid
Thank
Eye.
you, thank you.
And
Thank
this
you
is
for having
Zarf.
us.
And I'm completely addicted to their music for months now, and my daughter. So, without further ado, just wanted to introduce these guys. Please, one by one, I want to know your inspiration in music, how you started, and what brought you guys together. That's the most important thing, right?
So who wants to go first? Do you want me to
Farooq,
start?
you should go first.
Yeah. Individually, I started music about in 2015, post. So I have nothing to do with music. I have no idea what music is. For the most part of my life, while doing A levels and stuff, so I used to listen to this Nicole Schnitzer song that was given to me by my sister. I just used to have this one song that I used to listen while I was going back to my tuition and stuff. So nothing as such attracted to music or anything. I got dropped out of college the first time I went to college. So that is when I discovered music, and I stayed home for about 6 months. And as a teenage, when you are अम्मी अब्बू देख रहे हैं कि हाँ भाई पुत्र घर बैठ गया है, कुछ नहीं कर रहा और इसकी पढ़ाई वढ़ाई सब गई और ना the fuck you want to do with your life and stuff. So that is when I picked this guitar that my mom gifted me on my 18th,
Wow.
and I did just random shit, like just random shit, no idea what chords are and stuff. Eventually started getting this term germ developed in me, and I wanted to do music. So I started working as a solo artist. I made 3 songs. I released 3 songs post 2016, and उसके बाद जब सीन खत्म हो गया, like I didn't know what to do and how to do it. Then I get this call. I was just on the जो एक वो था ना कि you're on the fences and you're like, okay, I have no idea what the fuck am I supposed to do, and I don't know what I want to do. How am I supposed to do music? Whatever resources I had are now done and dusted. I get this call from a lady who says that we are looking for bands for this show, and we heard that you're a musician, and God bless that dude whoever gave my number to that lady seeking for this show for bands and stuff. That is when In Colors was formed. So Zarf se pehle our name was In Colors.
In colors.
In
Yeah.
Colors. And In Colors भी ऐसे था कि I was with this dude and he was like, let's make, हाँ मैं तुम्हारा band member हूँ, let's make a band and shit like that. And I was a fanatic asshole. I was like, हाँ, I want to do music. Let's do whatever the fuck it is, however the fuck it is. So we searched this band generator app on Google and we typed in our, और उसमें पता नहीं उसका अजीब सा setup था कि उसमें you type in your preferred music styles and stuff. और उस वक्त because you are getting this hyped up about music and everything, तो आपको जो भी कोई कुछ कह रहा होता है वो आप करते हो. So that dude introduced me to Pink Floyd. I have no fucking idea what music or what artists these kind of artists are. उसने Pink Floyd डाला, कुछ कर करा के नाम निकला In Colors and I was like In Colors. That dude left. I get this call. This lady asked me that you're a musician. Do you have a band? And if you have a band, would you want to pitch it for the show? I was like, yes, I have a band. Usne kaha, what's the name of the band? I was like, In Colors. And she was like, okay, so we'll have this audition and XYZ and you're done. Like, we'll see you on the auditions or whatever. And I was like, okay, so I have the name of the band, but I don't have any members.
Oh
What the
my
fuck am I
God.
supposed to do?
Oh,
So I posted on Facebook seeking for a guitarist and for a bassist. A dude connected me to Mubashir.
wow.
And Mubashir said that I play the guitars and I don't play the bass. From there, he introduced me to Mudassir. उससे पहले भी एक हमारी छोटी
Even
सी
at that
लाइनअप बनी
time,
थी लेकिन
Mudassir didn't play this. Even at that time, Mudassir was a
हाँ उसमें
guitarist.
मुदस्सिर never played bass as well. He used to play the guitars. So
He was a
उसमें उस दौरान we had another lineup, but that didn't really work out. So I was just sitting with him and I told him, "यार, what do we want to do? We need to go to this show. We need to try this out." So he was like, like my brother is there. He plays the guitar, but he can play the bass as well. So I was like, okay. So that is when Mudassir came in. And when Mudassir came in, उसके साथ एक और आया बंदा, फिर हम लोगों का वो बना और वो बनते बनते 3 years down, we end up finding Azim, and after that, वो फिर Zarf में convert हो गया. We were like, the name's not working out. We need to do this and that and all that. Whatever जो एक circle आप गुजारते हो as a band.
But you kept through. You
Seeking
were performing, jamming together. You at least jamming.
we regularly started jamming when Azim came in. Prior to Azim, it wasn't really a successful jam kind of thing, or we started taking music in a way that we need to lock ourselves in terms of compositions. We need to make sure that we are tight on click. We need to make sure that we are in tune, in sync. जो भी उसके साथ छोटी छोटी आपकी attributes आती हैं. लेकिन वो अजीम के साथ हमारा वो स्टार्ट हुआ था because we figured कि Sadayat Studios, where we eventually ended up doing our first album with Sadayat. So he owns this place in Karachi that's a recording studio / jam place. So we started rehearsing regularly over there. And मतलब उसके बाद में Zef बन गया. We were like our name's not working out. The In Colors tag is not working out. There was this dude. There's still this dude who's there who commented on this one video saying it's very hard to find your band's name. There's a German band by the name of In Colors. Whenever I go and look for you guys, I end up finding this German band. So I was like, hey, let's try to make life easy for people who at least for that one dude who's trying to find our work. So we posted name suggestions on our Instagram, seeking for like people's opinion. कि भाई, what do you prefer? What just clicks with you when you listen, see a band's name or something? So a lot of them chose Zarf.
Really?
So a lot of them, like there is a poll there on our Instagram. It's like in the highlights where it goes by the name how Zarf was formed. So there is a number of percentages, and about I think 80% people chose Zarf. They were like, Zarf is a good name. So I was like,
You went
"ठीक
by
है,
that.
Zarf,
And that's how
Zarf
I
it
got.
is."
It's the only thing is it has double dots on it, right? So when you're looking at
Yeah.
Instagram, oh sorry, your Spotify, it's always like you gotta type those double A's, double dots on the
Yeah.
because it makes
So
it sound
that was initially inspired by Motley Crue.
right.
That was
Motley Crue,
initially
exactly.
inspired by Motley Crue. So Motley Crue has that
Yeah,
O,
it came from
two
Motley
dots on the
Crue.
O's.
Oh, I see what you're saying, but it actually changes the sound, right? So it should be Zarf, I think, versus
Yeah, but up now we go by the name Zarf. It's easier because the lingo of Pakistani people, in Urdu context, it's like Zarf. It's easier for them to pronounce. So we try not to incorporate the two dots anymore. we try to keep it very simple, ZARF, and we're like, that's the name. We don't even like to connect the band thingy. The people
Yeah.
usually say Zarf the band. So I'm like, no, bro. There's no the band there. There's just Zarf, and it's more than enough for you to understand that it's a band. When you see four people walking on stage, that's enough for you to understand that it's a band, right?
No, first time I
So
saw your video of Dhoon Raha, and I was like, okay, is it gonna change? Is the animation gonna change? There are
yeah,
minor changes, and that was so hypnotic. I
yeah.
watched that whole video through and through. I was like, okay, I'm hypnotized in this video. And then I showed that same video to my 3-year-old, and she was equally hypnotized. And we keep watching the video. There's nothing in there. It's just like
There's nothing in there. Yeah.
it's
It's
an
like just a car that's going.
but I've been working music videos and concept music videos and visual artists.
Hmm.
There's certain things I'm always catches my eye when it has a very, very distinctive certain element in there. I saw something
Hmm.
really original in that loop, in that one animation, and I think that captured me totally. And then the song, of course, man, that whole thing rocks real well. So that's another thing. So Dhoon Raha is very different than the rest of the tracks. Usually,
Hmm.
the tracks are more ballad-based tracks, right?
Hmm.
So what
Yeah.
inspired Dhoon Raha, man? Just tell me about that song.
So Dhoon Raha was written in 2016, and उस वक्त I was in my new university, and the university was hosting this event that featured Atif Aslam, goes by the name Sound of the Seas, that happened to post 2016 somewhere. So one of the organizers was this one guy whom I know, and he said, "Okay, I'll make sure that you open it for Atif Aslam," and all that kind of thing. I was over the moon. I was like, "What the fuck, bro?
Oh,
Like, this is crazy. This is crazy, right?" So, but it that never happened. Like on the
you just
11th hour,
paused.
they come to you and they
Roti
tell you,
Karachi.
"Yeah, we are not able to
Yeah,
find a spot for you.
It's correct.
We can't figure shit out for you," and all that. So
and
that is when Dhoon Raha started, because I remember there was this one guy who came up to me and he was like, "Why should we feature you? You don't even sound like Atif Aslam. You're not Atif Aslam." These were his exact words. Like he just came to my face and he said, "कि तुम कौन सा आतिफ असलम हो जो कि हम तुम्हें इतना वो रखें." I was like, okay, like that's fucked up. But that is when Dhoon Raha came, because I was the solo side of my musicianship wasn't working out. An opportunity came in that went away halfway. और न उसके बाद फिर इस तरह की आपसे आगे कोई बात करे तो आई वाज लाइक यार, so that is when मैं ढूंढ रहा हूँ अकेला रास्ते. So that is when this line popped up, and इनके साथ वो गाना बना. It was just a composition till I met them, and when we
फिर
decided to
मिलने के
make
बाद भी
that.
हम लोगों ने काफी अरसे तक वो गाना जैम नहीं किया था. We
हाँ.
never jammed that track. We never knew that it existed until 2020 when the COVID hit. So he told us that there's a song that he wanna jam out. Then we jammed out to the song. It was, I think, the second song that we made for the album, and the first song that we made isn't released yet.
really?
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
still not.
What
But the
happened?
first song that we composed is going to be released in the last summer.
Wow.
It's
And
like the
my wife loves your songs, but especially Sazish. And Deko is my wife's favorite too. And I'm telling you, I've been pushing Pakistani music to her for the last 5 years. And you guys are the only ones among Junoon and all of that. I mean, I've been in this, right? So I'm trying to introduce this whole music thing. But it seems like your voice and the simplicity of your composition and the potential of of your compositions just totally like magnetize her towards it. And she listens to it and she tries to repeat that. She never speaks again. These people, my daughter and my wife, they don't speak Urdu at all. Because they're Spanish and English. So Urdu is something I'm introducing as a subsidiary, and I don't speak much Urdu myself besides my parents. But then through
Hmm.
songs is because of you guys sing this music, man. My daughter is singing these songs and singing in Urdu and really learning. And the biggest problem in immigrant children here in North America, Canada, even South America, even Europe, there's a big problem, a big disparity. And then when parents are trying to push the language and the culture together through discipline, like you have to, like you
Yeah.
see Chinese kids, Russian kids are speaking, and Mexican kids too, speaking their language, right? Urdu is not as easy to adapt as a kid versus
Mm.
English or any other language, right? And since they're here, it's really, really hard. A lot of parents just really hammer that hard. And I've seen very horrible cases here where parents are talking one sided Urdu for 20 years and the child is
Mm.
embarrassed to talk in that language. And I'm talking from family's experience. So I wanted to introduce Urdu as a language of love, communication, and poetry. And there's nothing better than music. And you guys work so hard on that because I understand what it takes as an artist from the initial angle to all the way going finalizing the composition and finally performing it without hitting it. So it's just I think it's a very powerful thing that you guys have come together and producing very good content that
I say thank you so much, man. It means a lot. All these words, and then how you like to think about it. That how that music is good for the Urdu and how for the kids and how they're perceiving it. Yeah, we just really all felt so great, felt so good that yes, our music is being, being a good part, playing a good part in the in the in the phase in the side where there are people who are engulfing it, or they are in this music is for some people who are living it out there. So we felt really great. Even the voice note, which even the first shared yesterday, it was an amazing. Like I was in office, but I was like, man, this is something really paying me off of doing music.
I know. And see, this is how powerful music is. So just talking about but by the way, we're in three different countries right now. So I'm in North America. This guy's in Australia, and these guys are in Pakistan right now. So this is global. So if anybody is complaining about our disconnections or whatever, this is golden conversation we're having by keeping everything together on a technology. So kudos to technology. So talking to you, Mubashir. So what's your earlier musical inspirations, and why did you choose music as your outlet at all?
So I started back in 2015, 14 as well playing guitar. But then later in 2018, Farooq found out me through social media. When he was looking for a band, he just found me through social media, and he was looking for a guitar player. Even at that time, I used to be a hardcore guitar player, only looking to play metal or something like that. And then when I heard his song, when I heard his original composition, the first song I heard from him was Roshni, that is still not released. You know,
Roshni, man,
yeah,
why are you teasing me like that? So I'm not gonna be able to hear Roshni at one time. When am I gonna be
We have
hearing it?
so many songs. You see, if you make it count, we have more than 40 songs. Like we are just listed up. We're gonna be working on them, or we're gonna be playing it when the person get back here. So there are still 40 songs. So I think that number is gonna be so much.
So there's more songs?
yeah, we
There's
have
like a complete new albums, like two albums sitting at the shelf without being. We haven't really rehearsed them as well. Like there's
Okay,
yeah.
just
talk about that real
compositions
quick.
left.
How does this happen? Who writes and how does this complete? You guys are cross country? Or are you going back and forth to back? What's happening? How is that happening?
So I moved here last year for my
Okay.
masters. I've been doing masters for like it's a year long master, so I've been here. The songwriting process has been going on for I don't know since forever. I guess I've been writing songs ever
It's a
since
song.
I've been writing songs for I don't know for how long, and that was the first thing that got me into music essentially. So when I got dropped out of college back into 15, and I was sitting home and everything, the reason why I picked music was I wanted to just write.
Really?
That was just write it down and put it out. I had no idea what वो कहते हैं ना सुर में गाना ताल में रहना, or I had no fucking idea what that is, but I wanted to put it out. And the one of the primary things that really just was like I wanted to put it out was the APS attack that happened in Peshawar.
Yeah.
So the kids got killed and everything. So that was something that just I was like, I need to just put it out there. Everyone felt it. I felt it in a way that I wanted to put it out there.
Oh my
I
God.
wrote something. I made it. I sang it to my mom. She was crying. Like that's the vivid memory that I have. I don't even remember what song that was. I don't know what I wrote or whatever. But I've been writing things. I've been writing compositions, and ये लोग they have the biggest role to play in Zarf's music, to be very honest, because there are compositions and there are lyrics, but the musical aspect of it or the structural core aspect for what you listen to when it gets recorded, it's because of them, because they are the primary brains behind it. मैं तो सिर्फ एक foundation ला के देता हूँ. I'm like, okay, let's build a building on this one, let's see how it looks like.
So how
There
do you
are
come up with it? So you have a tone and lyrics to it, and then
yeah.
they bring the
So I just have the melody, I have the lyrics. The melody comes first for me. There are a lot of musicians who say that the lyrics come first to them. But for me, it's like the melody comes first and then the lyrics part comes in. And when that happens, then I just bring it to them and I'm like, okay, I wrote this thing. And they are very critical people as well. Just to be on
That's how
record.
excellence comes in.
They-
It's
I
excellence.
remember the last time I went to Pakistan this year. I made them listen to this one song, and they were like, "Yeah, Farrukh, let's keep it to let you keep this song to your own catalog. Let's not bring this to the."
Oh, that's awesome. That's how you guys gain excellence, man. I mean, it's all about that. You have to constantly
It's,
calibrate.
I think it's more about right. It's more about creating your own content. A lot of bands in today's day and age are highly focused and they have a lot of skill, but they don't really focus on their own content. I guess that's what I feel that they lack. They might be very good musicians, they might be very good arrangers, and they might make a song sound like in a grand way. They might cover the song in the most original manner as possible, but when it comes to their own work, they don't want to pitch in those brains. They don't want to pitch
No, it's
that
very
effort in
original.
that.
Your songs are very original, man. I love that about it. You know,
That's like the
not
primary
not
thing
in
that
the
drives
aspect.
us.
Yeah, but the way you go up and down in your voice, it's just like the inflections and the melodies. They're very nostalgic.
I told you the other day, I don't have a mid tone.
I
I
know,
can
right?
either sing in the lower octave or I just go on the third one. So
You go
it's,
falsetto
it's
real low. It's a great transition, you know, and you're not classically trained, right?
I'm not. I'm not.
Oh,
I haven't taken any vocal classes. I remember going to Napa once thinking that I want to take vocal classes, and the dude told me that we don't know how to train rock vocalists or
Oh,
something.
that's not good.
And the Western styles, we don't teach Western styles, we teach the Eastern classical styles. And I was like, no,
I mean,
I
that's
don't want
the
to.
thing,
Although
but I don't think you wanted it.
yeah, I don't want to learn the Eastern classical thing. Although the foundations are very similar to Western music. The Saregama in Eastern classical is Do Re Mi something in
Dormi
Western
Pass,
music.
yeah, Dormi Pass, yeah. Love it.
So, but the ragi and everything, I it's important that you recognize your own personal space. I just feel that I can't do it.
No, dude, the thing is, you have your own style. Develop your own style in there. And then,
Yeah,
so that's my question to you. What, why, why singing? Why you chose singing? What made you sing?
why singing? Oh, um, I didn't know what else to do. I, I when I was young, I used to sing or hum songs, and when I was growing up, I just found it pleasure. It's fun, you know. It's fun to look into someone's eyes and just sing. "Tere ख्वाब ने." It's fun. It just gives you a sense of attachment. And what's better that if you just try and try and try. It's not that how I sing right now is something how I sounded 10 years ago. 10 years ago I sounded shit,
No, but you
but
always sang as
I
an
always sang. Yeah,
as an
yeah,
outlet.
yeah, 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 yeah. It was something that I always sang, and there was this one guy who said that if you actually want to make sure that you work on your voice, grab an instrument. so you can be in tune, so you can be in scale, so you can be, just in time. So that is when the acoustic guitar came in, and that is when I was like, okay, at least even if I'm playing four chords, my voice should resemble those four chords, not go south to what is being played in the north, right? So that is how I worked around my songs. And I can't really sing a lot of cover songs as well, and it's very important for musicians to realize this, which they don't. And I honestly just want to put it out there. It's not necessary that you will sound as good as Sajad Ali if you sing his songs all the fucking time. You need to pick the right artist for your vocal. You need to make sure that you need to know what artist sounds best or what song you can sing the best. Singing something that you like and singing something to enjoy are two different things.
Absolutely.
It's very important to just draw that line there. And that is why a lot of musicians, a lot of songs, I don't sing a lot of songs, and they suggest me a lot of songs that you should do this or you should do that. And I am always critical. I'm like, when I go on stage or when I do it in the jam room or when I rehearse,
Want to
do
keep
I
it
sound as good as it should be?
No, you very Western voice, by the way. But you have the jazz tones too. You can sing jazz too and blues. Interesting.
I mean, yeah, I've I've never really gave that a shot, but I enjoy this kind of music personally. I like to listen to Frank Sinatra and these kind of people on my own
Yeah, but
when I
you
get
write
bored.
in Urdu Shairi, like you can write a sher.
Yeah,
That's very so. That's like your early Urdu background. It seems like
that's
you.
probably because of my grandfather, who was a poet. So he was a poet in his time, and he was a shairi alibi. So he used to do Mercier and these kind of things. So my family, like my mother's family, is quite involved in this kind of thing. The aspect of as a performer comes in from my mother, who was an actress in her time.
Oh
So the
wow,
idea of performance and these kind of things comes genetically from there.
wow.
But the concept of writing songs in particular has nothing to do with my grandfather. I did get to see what he used to do, but I don't really have a backing per se, where you're like uh, one of your family members can write a song.
So, uh, all of you had probably some dark spots at some point. Like okay, breakups would be a biggest motivation to do this, and um, like how have you navigated through your dark spots? Like, okay, during pandemic, you guys couldn't perform or just atrocities of life and circumstances. How do you guys navigate? Like, tell me your stories, man. I'm always collecting stories from musicians who do this dedicated thing and they have to carry life. And how do you
I
guys?
think Mubashir and Mudassir should tell you their story of how they turned into
Hey,
musicians and what
yes,
kind of
yes.
and how did how Zarf was or in Colors was formed in Steel Town. That's like a hour and a half away from Karachi, and
Wow.
how that should happen.
Even hello, yeah. Even in Karachi, we live almost 50 kilo. We used to live almost 50 kilometers away from each other. So
Wow.
Farooq used to travel 50 kilometers every weekend, just to hang out with us, just to jam with us. Even at that time, we were not sure ke kya hoga, how are we going to how are we going to make such good songs, how are we going to make a composition that sounds at least professional and good, to the ears. It shouldn't sound like a homemade music. uh, Production quality was something जिसपे हम लोगों ने काफी जो है ना ख्याल किया. और the band story is something that has seen a lot of ups and downs. Even जब हमने when we started the album tracking, the first day of album tracking, I think Farooq and Mudassir, both of them had severe losses to their heart. Both of them had suffered a breakup recently. So, they were going through a lot of things during the album
Talk about it.
recording.
Please talk about it because men don't talk about that. I mean, you can talk about your emotional journeys, man. Music is emotional. Talk about
Please go
love
ahead.
Yeah,
loss.
well, the first day of our album tracking, well, that was the day of my breakup as well. The first day
Oh,
of album tracking. So,
that same day.
but
Oh my God.
yeah,
I'm sorry.
But always, well, if you talk about life, since I grew up, I always had a bigger problem to deal with in the aspect of life, in the aspect of growing up, in the aspect of how you're living. Because me and Mubashir, we both are we're independent grown up adults who are always independent. In terms of every side, you can talk about the living, you can talk about the studies, education, and everything. We are 100% independent for each of the thing and responsible for everything. So in that aspect, I always had a bigger problems to work on and to look on. But that breakup was a part of life, which fucked up the heart a little bit. But going on and moving on to playing and have to keep yourself sane, because if I would not play what I want, if I would not do why I'm there in the studio, then this is not the justice. This is not the justice with the art. This is not the justice for what I always dream to do. So a breakup or some a person who cannot realize a struggle, that these people should better, they cut off early, and we get to understand that later on the part. So the basis for the breakup was always the music, because not everyone in the Pakistan, they go for the music as a safe side, but that was also a problem for so many people, and also the cause from a breakup as well. But still, I'm on it, and I'm happy about my decision that I am doing. I'm pretty happy about it.
I mean, dude, honestly, that's one of the musicians' kryptonite. It's relationships. And for a lot of musicians, that becomes an inspiration and motivation to write. But I mean, a lot of them suffer from depression and anxiety because of relationship. And that's huge because music takes up a lot of your time. I mean, especially if you're a full-time musician, just a tour, composition to touring. All of these things can be very detrimental. It's almost like all performers, like sports performers, who travel for living. So that's one part of life as a musician. I think if you choose that path, there's a lot of sacrifice there. So it's greater responsibility because you gotta understand, like music is almost like a superpower.
Hmm.
Guys, I don't understand that when you're doing it sometimes, but it's actually superpower. Like you're inspiring a 3 year across the world with no language. So
But see, Adnan, it's important that before inspiring others, you should be inspired enough yourself, right?
you're right,
You
absolutely.
don't allow those emotions to take a toll on you when it matters the most. So, for instance, Mudassir had a breakup on the first day. He could have just fucked up the entire recording.
Yeah.
It's like could have been a possible thing. You're suffering from something. You don't know how hard that emotion might just kick in and just baffle you. So you never know what's going to happen next. But it's important that he knew that what was on the line at that time. He knew that he had to kept his composure, and that we need to distinguish the work life away from the personal space, and that is what we fundamentally believed on. That whenever we are going in a jam room to rehearse something, we leave our problems out the door. We will address them once we are done with the rehearsal, because the rehearsal is very important. You need to be on your A game every time. You need to make sure that you are on point with your songs, that you feel that you own that song. In a rehearsal room, you're basically owning your song. If you're not owning the song, then it won't sound as good as people might listen to when it comes out. So you need to make sure that your emotion is on point and that you're doing it on a regular basis. Secondly, yes, it's important for your heart to break and everything, but it's not just breakups that inspire your work. Like I don't think any of our songs. I mean, uh, people can relate Auna to a breakup song as well. But
Yes,
Auna is such. I personally feel Auna is such an open song that you can
I love
literally
Auna,
affiliate.
man.
You
That's
can
one of my favorite
really
songs.
affiliate with however and whatever situation you possibly can think of. It is an emotionally driven song.
It
Reminds
took
me
me a
of
while
one
to
thing
get to
that
it, but I love that song.
reminds me of this one thing that Mubashir said to me the other day. So we are doing this one song called Parda,
Varda?
and Parda. It's called Parda, and we recently recorded it at Alif Studios, Umair Dar's place. And there's this one thing that he mentioned the other day. He was like, "This is probably the first song that is philosophically driven, and not emotionally driven. A lot of our songs are emotionally driven, or are about something, or are about a particular situation, or are about any individual per se. But Parda is a complete philosophical, it's like a philosophical song. It's about, Parda is generally about you being a bad human. So that is what Parda is about.
Oh,
So
interesting. Very good thing.
so it's like a very diverse thing, and as a band, we are on a way to just explore our sound. We don't really have a goal that we want. It would be wrong for me to say that we don't want the glamour, the fame, and shit. Every musician wants that. Everyone wants to be heard. Everyone wants to perform on big stage. If someone is denying that fact, that you're a fool, because there's no bloody way why you're doing it in the first place.
Exactly.
It's better for you to do it in your home than rather than even release it in the first place, right?
Right.
So we all want that, but we don't have a distinct destination that we want to reach this place or that place, and we want to be this or that. That's for the people to decide how big or small are we gonna get. It's for us. For us is to make music.
Well, another thing is, man, you guys are like, I mean, well, musicians have it hard all across the world. So I'm just saying, talk about the challenges. So first of all, being a musician in Pakistan, right? In terms of performance, in terms of challenges you guys face, in terms of monetary aspects, how much you guys have to spend before you even see a dime out of the music, as any job in there, and then the backlash, or if any, and then the challenges you guys are having right now, being remotely as a band, having a remote aspect to it, since you guys are so serious about your rehearsals and so serious about your performance, your band. How does how did you keep that being remote with each other?
Being in a band even affects your personal life a lot. But I think all three of us, I can speak for three of us, that we have blended our band in our lives so much that we we naturally find time for the band. Even when Farooq was moving to Australia, a lot of people told us that the band is not going to work out. How are you guys even going to release one song?
Exactly.
And when he went to Australia, we're still working on showing the people that a band can work even if a guy is living abroad. A band can still make songs if a guy is living abroad. When he came back to Pakistan for like 10 to 15 days, we ourselves arranged a gig. We played at the gig with another co-band in Karachi. We arranged it all ourselves. Mudassir made it happen. So the struggles are probably like a lot, I would say a third world struggle, because first thing, you don't get a lot of high end equipment here in Pakistan. You have to get it. There's no I would say retailer or guitar centers here in Pakistan which can let you buy high-end music equipment. So you have to get the equipment first for the professional quality recording. Then the band struggle starts, that jamming in Karachi or Islamabad or anywhere in Pakistan, there are not a lot of jam rooms or even venues for the band.
So how do you guys do this?
So, we jam at a higher, we hire a jam place. We've been putting all the money from all of our pocket. Uh, me and my brother, both of us are, we do jobs professionally. He's a international sales consultant. I'm also an international car consultant. Farooq was also working when he was in Pakistan. Uh, so we do jobs, we pitch in our money for the production purposes
Wow,
and for the
man.
song.
Like so much dedication, man. It's like that blows my mind, man. And then we
And,
provide so much money to these to
and
these
the
so-called engineers.
honestly, I would say the glue of this band is Farooq. If Farooq isn't there, I mean, that guy is a pain in the ass. When he's in Karachi, even if it's 45 degrees outside, he'll fucking come to my home just to jam, even in 45 degrees.
Wow, that's relentlessness, man.
That is something that really keeps us going. And
Wow. It's one motherfucker who's like, dude, I don't give a fuck. We're doing it. We're doing it, right?
yeah,
Yeah.
That's like the only thing we're good at, right? I mean, we try doing jobs and stuff and uh, pleasing other people for them to make more money, but this is what we are good at, and we can genuinely say that we are good at what we do. And we enjoy what we do. So
So
that
talk
that's
about it. Talk
that.
about enjoyment part. So when you get together and you finally
Hmm.
invest and the song is coming out and you guys are like, "Fuck, we have something on our hands," right? Like when you're hearing this song. So
I think
not
this
that.
happened with me. This happened with me when I wrote Dekho,
Hmm.
where I essentially wrote Dekho. And Dekho happened because there is one song that's called Neela Akash that was part of our album. And we recorded it, we were done with it, and we were just sitting and we were thinking if this goes with the album sound, because the album sound is a lot acoustically driven. You have a lot of acoustic guitars work in the album
Balance,
work. Even Dhoond Raha,
totally balance.
Zindagi Auna, Dekho, and even Sazish. You have a lot of acoustic guitar work going in. And Neela Akash was a fucking rock and roll track. It was like all leads and all screams and everything. And we were like, if this fits in. So our producer just gave us this nod saying, I think you should replace this song. You should
Really? How about
go,
bonus
yeah.
tracks? Bonus tracks.
Sorry?
Bonus tracks.
I didn't get that. What do you mean?
How about your bonus tracks? I put them as a bonus
Could
track.
have been a bonus track. Yeah, I mean, we were just thinking of, and we still are thinking to do the 7 songs, although they're being released separately. Doesn't look like an album, but is an album eventually.
And what about
But
the merch? You guys should be getting these T-shirts out everywhere. Like these
bro, there are
stuff.
not a lot of lot of resources through which you're gonna do this kind of thing in Pakistan.
All you need is that Dhoon Raha video cover, and then just those covers with your thumbnails as
Yeah.
T-shirts. Those are simple sellers, man. I would buy that T-shirt straight up because
Definitely, we
people
will
are
take
more in
we'll
touch
take
with
your word
everything.
into account.
So tell me one thing: whose idea is animations?
Whose idea is the animations?
Why would you go animations route on your videos versus videos?
Mhm. Why animations?
Yeah,
Visually attractive. Animation keeps the idea rolling. Still images or these kind of things, unless there's a lot going on in an image or it is very conceptually driven, you spend some time over there. But for an animation, you just it's important for you to focus. Like this is how I feel when it comes to releasing content visually. You have a 4 minute window in a song, and you need to make sure that whoever is listening to that song, who's ever watching that song, needs to stay focused. So even Zindagi ki jo video hai, you have the sky color changing.
I know.
For Dekho, there are multiple illustrations.
Dude,
For
I
Dhoond
remember
Raha,
Deko's video so vividly. As the guy goes on, has this outdoors, and then
yeah,
you have this questionable relationship with somebody, but it's all about freedom. That whole
yeah.
video is so beautiful, and
Thank you.
it resonates with everybody. I can show it to my children, and it could
Mhm.
go and it talks to every age. And I don't know if
Yeah.
you put those kind of thoughts before you're that content out there, but it's working real well. Just
No, that's true. That the credit goes to the illustrator and animator through Vasfa, the Vasfa command. It's
she just
her
shares your songs.
more. It's more on her because when I used to talk to her, it's important. I make her listen to the song first. I'm like, this is a song, and I have this kind of thing in my mind, and I want you to put your kind of flair to it. And then she comes up with these kind of things. A very good friend of mine, Mohammed Kazim, did a lot of animations on that as well. He did the animation for Dhundra,
Oh yeah.
and I'm sorry. So there's a lot of collaborative work going in. We don't have industries or something. Just give me a moment. I'm gonna grab a glass of water.
No problem.
Sure, sure.
And another thing is like these animations are like it's like so out of the world. You don't expect that from a Pakistani music video. So far.
Yeah, you can.
You know,
Even the artist, the girl, he was talking about Waspa. I think she really likes her song. That's why she does it for us, you know. There's no point in doing something with it, you know, if you don't like anything about it. And I think the animator also enjoys the song as much as we do. So she really likes to make the works for us. make animation for us, make small clips for us. And she has been a a very big part of our band's family in terms of making visual content for us.
Wow, man, this is and everybody's doing it out of the love.
Yeah, it's just out of love.
Man, that's what I really miss about Pakistan, man, because people are like, this, you guys are so disciplined in loving and dedication of something. And it, like I said, it just, musicians know that everything is not monetary, everything is not material based. It's music's so ethereal, and the fulfillment is so ethereal that it's just like everybody just works. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, so you're you just go in with the concept, and then she comes in with this video, it's a beautiful visual journey, and everybody just does it their part, and nobody expects like an opportunity or anything to just do it out of the love. It's beautiful.
So, I mean, it's all about collaboration. Pakistan lacks a lot of resources in terms of music, in terms of, like you mentioned,
In terms of
instruments,
music industry,
in terms of
we lack
everything. Particularly in the field of music, we lack a lot of things. But now we have seen a lot of artists coming in, and we have seen there are still fewer bands. There are not a lot of bands, unfortunately.
That the music industry first mentioned about, that is one of the most biggest drawback, I would say. I also play with some other artists as well, other than Zarf as well. I have a band Pakar Dakar, and there are a few artists I play with, Jimmy Khan and Munib Haq. So mostly if you talk about the Pakistan industry, uh, the most of the people who are the organizers, who are the caretaker of the the event media industry, then all these event organizing companies, they always ask you, cover kaun sa bajate ho yaar? So most of them people are like, if you're gonna play some bunch of 15, 20 covers, then they're gonna give you get paid shows. If you're an original band, then they people be like, हाँ यार original सही तो है, लेकिन अगर आप फलां के गाने 10 बजा लो, it's fine. But people are just manipulating the industry. Not so many genres have air to breathe here. Just like if you count any other abroad country, the person who loves Lamb of God, that same person is attending the Britney Spears concert as well. But here, people are so having a limited ears. People are having a limited, music taste. The exposure is so limited to the people, and obviously the people who are sitting on the seat where they have to run and have to make the changes. In terms of music ground, in terms of arranging the music events and doing that thing. The record label is it's not even a name here. It does not exist in Pakistan. Nothing like record label exists. No media companies are here to work on it, to give an artist things. It's just DIY. It's me. And money's
So
on our pocket, videos, audios, and everything.
so where's the musicians? What is so what in a music band in Pakistan? What is the limits of that, and what are the opportunities for them?
The opportunities for a band,
Do you want
Yeah,
to?
Pakistan right now.
a show like Pepsi Battle of the Bands, I guess, or or something. I don't know. It's quite hard to penetrate. It's hard to make people like your work. Like, and I mean, I can't blame them. You can't force someone to like something. But if you somehow are a household name, you will land all those big shows or all those corporate gigs and all those kind of events that I think solo artists are landing themselves. I think that's how it is. And in particularly, if I talk about Zeph hasn't made a lot of money. I think to date we have been playing for 5 years now, five-ish 6 years. We have accumulated about 50,000 rupees. That's it in 5 years. That's about it. We haven't really gotten, and I don't know how much amount we have spent on our work. I can't. I don't even have that figure. Probably more than 1 million.
Oh, absolutely.
I can't really recall
So
that.
rich.
Everything in music is probably the most expensive business on earth. I think it's
Yeah,
like The instruments are expensive, the recording
I
equipment is expensive, the recording places are expensive, your own bloody drum kits are expensive, your gear, bro. Like a pack of strings cost you more than 2,000, 3,000 rupees, and then you have to replace them every 6 months, sometimes 4 months, because the weather is fucked up. So you're not making a lot of money. The only way musicians are able to thrive, or whatever music you are able to see today, in the sense of a band. I'm not referring to solo artists. There are a lot of solo artists who are very successful and they're doing amazing work. But for a band in particular, the only thing that is driving them is they want to do music. They like it.
that's it.
They have nothing else to offer. That's about it.
And then
They
same
love
goes with
what they do.
Bayans, and I mean, they're getting.
So Bayan has been there since 2012, bro.
Oh damn!
Bayan's been doing this thing since 2012. Their first single came out in 2014. Nahi Milta was released in 2013, late 2014.
Wow, man.
That was then
Check it
featured
out.
on Pepsi Battle of the Bands and then became a huge thing. But if you look back, they've been there for over 10 years. Kashmir has been there for over 10 years.
Yeah, Kashmir's been doing it.
Kashmir's been doing work before Kashmir is known as Kashmir. They were known by some other name, and they've been there since 2012 or 11.
Yeah, that's something.
Karakaram, Karakaram used to go by the name Overdose.
I know the Sherry.
And
Right?
Overdose, Sherry and Overdose has been there since, I don't know, God knows, 2007, 8, I guess, or
Sherry's so
something around
talented.
that time.
Sherry's been doing it for a while.
So
I heard of
now
Sherry
these
back in
boys are in their
the
mid 30s. Sherry is what, 33, 34-year old. He
yeah,
started doing things since he was 18, 19. The
19.
dude's
I
been doing
remember
this
that.
for over
Yeah.
14 years, 15 years.
And I'm
And
in touch
now
with
he's,
Shalom. So Shalom has the same story. Shalom was
yeah,
like talking about like, dude, I've been doing this for so fucking long, and the same disparity
like
is
the other day I was just sitting and I was just recalling something and I was like, Farooq Zedi, it's been 8 years since you've been doing this shit. And it just hit me like that. I was like, fuck bro, it's been 8 fucking years since I've been a fanatic about that I want to do music. Like that's the only thing that keeps us going, right? Even if it's Shalom, if it's Sherry, if it's anyone. If you say you've been doing for God knows how many years, he would rather say because I like to do it. That's like the fundamental reason for them. That is a fundamental reason for me. That is a fundamental reason for Mudassir and Mubashir as well.
so
And
talking
that's about it.
talking about that. So you're in Australia. Do you see any
Yeah.
opportunity musically? Oh, tell me about your time in Australia right now. As an immigrant.
It's been great. It's been amazing. It's like when you talk about the first world and the third world country, you see the genuine difference. I've been to the US. I've been, and I'm here in Australia, and I see the massive difference. I mean, obviously, people here would take like some time to absorb the idea that of you being an immigrant because we are an immigrant. I am a student here. I am going to stay an immigrant unless I land myself a blue passport here in Australia. But I am an immigrant here, and they will look at me in that manner. And you will always find places like Pakistan or India where people might presume you as themselves because we share the same language and the same color, and that difference will always be there. But the lifestyle, how things are being processed, how things should be done. If you want to do music, there are steps. You have record labels. You have ways of जो भी नए musicians आ रहे होते हैं ना, they're always dumbfounded by the idea of what to do. You have these answers here. They tell you to do this, then do that. You need to make this kind of sound. Need to make sure that your record should sound this level of quality, should reach this level of quality. You need to do this. You need to do that. वो सारे तरीके यहाँ आपको मिलते हैं, वो आपको पाकिस्तान में नहीं मिलते। यहाँ पे म्यूजिक एक बहुत अलग तरीके से देखा जाता है, पाकिस्तान में म्यूजिक एक बहुत अलग तरीके से देखा जाता है। यहाँ पे म्यूजिक जो होता है वहां पे इट्स लाइक here you recognize genres, in Pakistan there are no genres. So बहुत massive difference वो है और वो रहेगा। लेकिन again, like I said initially, crazy motherfuckers, bro. We are crazy dumb fucks who want to do something that for God knows for how long, what for, how to do it. No fucking idea, but we are at it. We are doing it. And like your daughters, you shared that voice note the other day. Your daughter singing that song. I'm honest. I was I was over the moon to start off. I love your daughter, and second most important thing is we never imagined. This was never on the charts. एक होता है ना कि आप कहते हो यार I can't recall that I want a kid singing my song
I've heard the story,
10,000
but
miles away from where I live.
I'm telling you, so check this out. So I don't know if you've ever been interactive with children. Coco Melon and Baby Shark
Yeah.
are the biggest conglomerates in this world, right?
Oh yeah.
You can poke a child with a knife and they will still be watching Coco Melon because of the
True.
hypnosis element. Like Coco Melon, that eyes is not moving.
Yeah.
The subliminary aspect. Coco Melon's got 2.9 billion views each on a small short video, like on YouTube only. And this is like, multi-merchandise thing. So there's a choice of these kids are watching Coco Melon, and my child, if she's tapped into Coco Melon, and she hears your music, hears Deco, she'll go to Deco, and she'll keep listening to that.
That's really sweet.
I don't know how that came about, but it has the similar hypnotic element there. And she comes in and she just watches that video, and then she keeps listening to your song. I play that, dude. She tells me in the car, I want to listen to that. Right now she's crazy about Gold Chakra by Zarf.
Yeah.
She wants to. She gets addicted like me. So we're actually all of us, like I said, we repeat your songs, and we're waiting for waiting for any songs you guys are releasing. So I mean, that's the power, and then this is just an example of it. Your dedication and your love and intention you put into your music has immense potential. I mean,
hopefully, I mean, the the end goal probably is to make music, to write music, to make music, to put it out there. You have the ability to write, you have the ability to create something, you make, like, put it to good use, and you use it in the right way. And that is what we all are trying to do. I don't think any one of us are driven by the idea of money. I mean, money is important, but that is the final goal. No, I don't think so. That's not even on the charts for us. For us, it's important to whatever we have, for however long we have, we put it out there. We could put to use. We don't get to use. We don't get to play a lot of shows, and we have accepted that. And we know,
even for
that
the
it's not gonna happen a lot. So it's better to just do what we can do best.
you guys are gonna be performing a lot when you get together back, right?
No. So in February when I went back was the first gig. The gig before that we did was in June. The one before that was in November, the year before. So there's like a 7 month, 6 month, 8 month gap every show.
We're gonna be playing show again in the coming July again, Farooq.
Are we? Okay, that's nice.
Same thing which we do always DIY. Same thing I'm gonna do
That's
again.
like the only thing that we can do. We
We
can.
always take money from our
I
own
remember.
pockets and do gigs. We book the event, we book the sound, and we give some the guys who are with us. We just give them a volunteer service. That guys, you have to like take care of the event. Obviously, whatever if the money came in, if we just cross the good limits or recover some good money, we just do some good hangout, food, a party with these
Yeah,
guys. Give them a good
just enjoy
tribute. That
yourself.
Like private
Enjoy
sessions, right?
whatever comes.
Basement sessions, private sessions, like
yeah,
50
basement
people.
sessions come.
Yeah. If
Your
you
demo
if
session
you
is
actually
really
want to
good.
play, you play it in front of your own friends and stuff. You want to do things professionally, go to a studio. I remember Fawad Khan telling us this one thing. He said that even if no one's paying you, go and play. If you have to pitch in money to make sure that you want to play, do that. Play 50 shows. The 51st show will be the one that when you'll be getting paid for.
Right.
That's how things are done. And he mentioned that for the first 30 years of your life, you won't make any money. He was very blunt. and I love that about him. That he was very straight up, and he
I
was
love
like,
to watch.
"You're not gonna make any money till you hit 30. Once you cross 30, then you will start earning money from your hardships. It's a 10-year window." That is what I did with EP. That is what everyone are supposed to do.
People
People
should
bail
do
out
that.
because they can't. People bail out because they can't handle
Went to
that
EP's
pressure.
concerts before? I went to two EP.
I've never been to EP's concert before. EP retired before I even
I
recognized
saw
that okay, this is
so I remember
EP.
so I remember it was PF and it was with my brother and it was Fusion, EP, Aro, and Nuri.
Wow.
They were all
Wow.
four performing, right? And we crashed the concert and EP took 25 minutes or 30 minutes to set up sound with 9 band members playing.
Yeah.
And all of them get on stage and they're setting the music. But guess what? When they set up that music, man, it was worth waiting for, man. That was so
Yeah.
dope. But then when Nuri came out, man, they
Oh,
just
that's another ball game,
the
ball out of the
live
park.
magnets, man. These guys have such a good live presence. The
Yeah.
reverbs, I mean, better than
Nuri was one of my first concerts that I ever attended in music.
oh
Like
man, he started
my
that.
one of the first concerts, like
Oh,
the first
oh,
concerts
oh.
I went to listen to, and the second one was DA Method in Takatak in Karachi.
Which one?
So DA Method. So Umair, there is this one band, was a one band called DA Method. Amazing band. Umair Dar's band. You need to listen to their album Sanctuary. That's out there on Spotify. Amazing musicians, and they worked with phenomenal artists like Pineapple Thief and these kind of people in Berlin and based in US. I went to listen to them in Taka Tak. If you would have heard Taka Tak, Taka Tak is another metal band, an emerging metal band in Pakistan. An amazing band. You need to check them out as well.
I
उनके
came to
drummers,
Pakistan in
उनकी
2000
team
and
is
2002. I came
is
to
crazy. It's crazy. They are crazy artists. But Noori was the first band that I went to listen to live. I was like, I need to listen to Noori, and they played "Suno Ke Main Hu Jawan," and then they
oh
played
man, I love
"Villain,"
Sonokame.
and then they played Neend Aaye Na, and I was like over the moon. I was like, what the fuck is
I
happening here,
love
bro?
it, man. And these guys have a very good live presence. But then, I mean, besides that, I mean, these bands were really trying hard too, man. And they performed for the last 15 years of their lives until they
True,
got to that stage. So you're
true.
right.
Yeah.
It just takes that
It's
kind of
like a 15, 16-year window. Every band, every known band that you see on the face of the earth, even the Western bands, let's say, if you talk about Motley Crue,
oh man.
you go and see their back end story, how Motley Crue became Motley Crue. There is a 10-year window there. So working, playing in someone's house, jamming together, organizing their own shows, and these kind of things. Led Zeppelin, you have the Beatles, you have so many people. The Beatles come from a middle aged background. They're not even the high ends of British people. They were from the lower ends of the British people, turning into sirs in today's day and age. Then they are known as Sir Paul McCartney today.
Oh,
When they started out, they were strugglers. That's what
and that's
it is all
another thing.
about.
Beatles, that if you remember that documentary they did on Disney Plus, that long,
Yeah,
that's like it's the impetus of like, yeah, Beatles was there for a very short period of time.
they were there for
Yeah,
less than 10 years.
yeah, they were not happy with each other after that period of time. They couldn't deal
Yeah,
with fame together because they were individually so very talented, and they
yeah.
were just magically were together. Paul McCartney, everybody had an individual music, except Ringo.
When there was John
Ringo Starr.
Lennon, he was doing his own thing. Harrison was doing his own thing.
George
Ringo
Harrison
Starr
was so
was,
talented, and George Harrison despised everything Beatles did. He
yeah,
hated fame. He hated all of that side. He was very spiritual man, and he just wanted to perform for the sake of music. And Lennon was becoming very political, and then Paul
yeah.
wanted to do extraordinary things in life, and he did, and they just didn't. It was just not balancing, and that's another thing. How like I asked you, like being band members in a remote band, where you're not performing together most of the time. You guys keep this love together, and how often do you have to stay in touch or keep in touch with to keep the band going? Just to keep wheels running. Is
Oh,
it
we are always in touch. I'm always in touch with them. Mudassir will answer this more appropriately because they see me pop up in their WhatsApp more every now and then.
He's going in and out.
Mudassir, can you hear me?
Now I can hear you. Sorry, I was just doing some shit.
Yeah.
No,
So
that's
he's
cool.
asked.
Yep, yep.
So how do you keep with the band, like usually with the remote situation when it's like, okay, there's something on the horizon and we're releasing an album, but we're not gonna perform this album in in any situation or remotely possible. So how do you keep that motivation as a band member?
Motivation for it, it's just a simple theory. Being a musician, you love to do music. Despite of any challenges, just I know the Farooq is there, but the Farooq will be here eventually, and to make sure that what we started, we put a good full stop by the down the 10 years or 12 years. We did that's a motivation. I have played a shows right after the 10 hours of jobs. I have played recording for right after 10 hours of job shift. That what makes me feel alive. I
Wow.
only count the time of the stage time as me being alive. Rest of the days are just the normal days. I've lived the time when I was on the stage, so that's the proper motivation for me. Farooq have the songs. We all that's why I'm not amazed to see Farooq in the video call, because that's not the first video call we are having in the days. We do a lot of calls, we do a lot of audio sessions, video calls. Bro, ye chal raha hai, bro, वैसे चल रहा है, ऐसे चल रहा है. We always keep each other updated because I think we match the same passion. I think we match the same energy and all. As Mubashir said, the Farooq is a proper pain in the ass, and that is the best thing. Because when you are getting low, he's the guy. Bhai, kidhar? We have to do this. Kya ho gaya? Then we have to go back and yes, we have to do it. So being a musician, there's always a fire living inside, but you need a people around to keep burning it.
Oh,
So I think
absolutely,
I
you're right.
have a good.
And your companions, like that's why you guys are like breakups because happen because of the dedication to
Yeah,
music too, right?
yeah, yeah, yeah. I mean, the second most important thing is one needs to realize that you are in a band. People take it very lightly, I think, in today's day and age. You say, I'm in a band. Oh, okay, you're in a band. No, bro, it comes with a lot of responsibility. You say that you're a bassist of a band. That means you're holding the low end for a band. That means you need to make sure that you are in sync with the drummer.
Oh,
That means
absolutely.
that you need to make sure that you are with the beat. That means you
Yep,
need to make sure that the foundation of the song is perfectly in line.
absolutely.
These are a set of responsibilities. It's not just I'm a bassist or I'm a singer. I have this theory and I always put it
You gotta
in
be
use and
people
I
as
always say that be prepared for something that's yet to come. You never know when the next show is you never know when the show is around the corner. You might get a call tomorrow and they would say, "Oh, we want Zarf to play." This is like a hypothetical situation in my own head that I feed them and I tell them that we will get something like this someday. And what if we are not able to perform well on that day? When someone calls up and they're like, okay, we need you to come tomorrow. We'll pay you this. We love your work. We want a band to play in this particular show for us on this event. And we want Zarf. This is like a hypothetical situation. You go to play, you can't play. You sound shit. That's on you. That's not on them. Why were you not in tune?
exactly.
Why were you not prepared for that thing? You say that you're a part of a band. A band should be prepared. It's like a disciplined act. Why do you not remember your own songs? Why do you not remember the small, uh,
He's
there is
smiling.
this part in
But
Dekho,
that's the smile is like, dude, I've heard that before. On the sound.
like there's this part in Dekho where I go, oh, ta, 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 ta. There is a break. Why is that? The second half, वो आता है ना, oh, oh, this part comes in the second half of the song. वहाँ पे एक break है.
There
There is a break.
Yeah.
आप अगर वो break अच्छा नहीं बजा सकेंगे for someone who remembers that song and for someone who is there
Yes.
because of that song.
My daughter will catch that.
Yeah, exactly. If someone is there because of that song
Yeah.
and you don't play that part perfectly,
Yeah.
that's on you. That's not on them.
But live, you can fuck up live sometimes, man. You know, I mean,
हाँ, आप आपका टेम्पो थोड़ा आगे पीछे हो सकता है, आप शायद चीजें इतना हो सकती हैं,
sometimes
इतना
it's
अलाउ.
got to be. Sometimes it's got to be different because, like, okay, yeah, it's live. I need to hear something
Yeah,
different.
yeah, yeah. No, but there are certain significant parts of a song that need to be played in the right way,
In the right way. No, you're right. You're right.
right? There are
Remember your
certain
demo?
things.
Remember your
To
demo
put it
release
as
to me?
clean as it can. And if it's not recording, if we are playing live, then we allow to be a little bit, improvisation on it. If I have not played a fast groove in anywhere, I'll just put extra ghost notes in live because if it gives
There we
fun
go.
in live, so that's what chal jata hai. I'll be
कितना
guys.
जल्दी आ
I'll
रहा
be
है?
signing off after 3 to 4 minutes. I have another meeting to attend. Office ka kaam.
Thank you for your time. Thank you so much for your
Uh,
time.
Thank you for so much for you having me here and
No,
having as a Zarf has here matlab, means a lot to us. That voice note and every compliment, it was not less than a goosebump. Everything was a break to the motivations wall.
bro, keep working on your music because you have fans all over the world now. Like my family is we are dedicated fans. We want merch. We want to wear t-shirts, whole 9 yards, sit there like football. We're watching football. It's that kind of
I don't
dedication.
know about
And
others,
that's not
but
my
I think
family.
you guys will be the top one for whom I will definitely, will not never quit music. I will do no man, not to disappoint them. I don't care about the 1,000 people. I care about the few special ones only.
Yes, sir. That's how it goes, man. Yeah. And heart to heart connect. So thank you so much for your time today. Really, really appreciate it.
Guys, I'm gonna be signing out.
Take care, Mudassir. Very nice to meet you.
Thank you guys for having me here. Love
All
you
right.
boys.
Take care. Have a good one. So yeah, what's the future like? Let's close on the closing lines. Just gonna be what are you looking forward to in terms of like? So first, how are you carrying your master's degree with your music right now? Like that
How am I carrying my master's degree with
with
the music?
with your music right now. Like if you're the one who seems like be coordinating everybody too.
I think I got that training when I was doing my bachelor's. So I carried my bachelor's with my music, and I carried my master's with my music.
If you don't mind
It's
me asking, what are you doing your master's in?
I'm doing my communications and media masters in communication and media.
Oh
I
wow.
did my bachelor's in film and television.
Oh,
I'm
me
doing my
too.
bachelor's,
Me
yeah, and
too.
I'm doing my master's in film and communications and media here in Sydney from Macquarie University. I'm almost done. In fact, I'm on. It's like the last stretch of the university life, so I'm just about to finish.
Are you planning to live there or?
No, I'll come back. I'll come back because my parents are there and the band's there. There's a lot of work. There
Yeah,
is
you
a
have a lot of
lot
shit
of
going on in
work.
Pakistan.
There is a lot of work. I have a lot of plans. Although it's quite ironic because you plan something else and something else happens. But it's important to you plan it out things. So abhi to in the pipeline is there is one song that's come out. There दो गाने एल्बम के आने फिर हम लोगों ने एक और गाना रिकॉर्ड किया है वो रिलीज करना है व्हेन आई कम बैक टू पाकिस्तान तो आई एम सपोज्ड टू record 3 more new tracks. That is what I believe that I want to do, and release at least 4 new tracks by the end of 2023, so we can have a good catalog. And yeah, I mean, find a way to fund my passion. I think that's the most suitable thing that I can think of.
I mean, you can. I mean, you're gonna have great work with the degrees you have. I think you can always
Hopefully, hopefully, hopefully,
find.
I'm quite hopeful that I might be able to use my skills somewhere, and I might be of good use to someone. But
So never compelled to make your own video of any one of your songs. Like you're a film major, right? I mean, have you
I
ever
am a
thought
film
that?
major, yeah, yeah, bro. It's very hard. It's very hard to direct your own thing when you are creating your own thing, and I like to focus on one thing at a time. I When it comes to music, I'm like I want to focus on the music aspect of it right now. That's why one of the reasons why we are unable to like record or just get visual video of ourselves. We have the animations, but there are no videos that has our face in it.
Demo
So
reels.
sorry,
Demo reels.
demo reels.
Yeah.
What's that?
There's live recordings of your songs.
Yeah, we use that as content for Instagram. जो भी
No, I
हमारे
have
live
all your
recording.
songs on that. We saw you live on those songs with
Yeah,
all the
yeah, yeah.
real songs you guys performed sometime in 2018, I think, or 19. I don't even
Maybe.
know. I don't even know. You remember what I'm talking about, man? Because
I've lost track of time, bro. It's been so long that I've been very occupied
I'll
with.
send you the links. I'll send you the links.
Yeah, sure. I mean,
Crazy.
I've lost track of a lot of things. While I was revamping the idea of In Colors to Zarf, so I had deleted a lot of work as well because I wanted to just shape a new identity altogether.
Really?
And it's important for you to be very professional, unfortunately, but uh, looks matter. This is something that goes by. You can't just be a hippie and go around. So it's important that you have a very stable portfolio and these kind of things. And I mean, I've been told to take Zerf as a business venture. I've been told to take Zerf as something as a side show or something like that. But my main aim would be that to convert Zerf into a good band. Like I don't know what that would be in the materialistic world. What term would you use? Market it, brand it. I don't know. But I mean, the major goal is to put your work out under the banner of Zerf. I
Well,
can't
you
do
got
it
the
as
foundations right.
Farooq Zedi.
I mean, music's
Sorry.
lost. You got the
No,
foundations
I'm
right.
glad. I'm honestly glad. I'm honestly glad. But I'm very uh, I don't know, humbled with the idea of you, your daughter, your wife, listening to our work, you know, and it's very humbling. It's very nice, and this is my way of showing excitement. I am very excited, but it's just
I'm
that
excited.
I want to grow. It's important because we are running out of time, bro. I was just thinking today that about a week ago we discussed about this podcast,
Right.
right? It's a week. The week just went by like that,
Went by like that, man. And
right? So it's crazy. We are living in crazy times, and the time's running away very fast. And I want to use it to the best of my capability.
no, but you're such a strong backbone of this, man, and your motivation and your relentlessness to keep going. And I see that similar thing in Nasir Zaka Dambian. Like taught in Spanish now. I see that in Nasir Zaka too, because
Yeah.
he has that same relentlessness, man. I mean, both of you are different in your own ways, but he has that same. He has that fire. He took that whole band to Pepsi battle the bands and everything, and won out of that. And he had that vision, and he was struggling for a while too. So it's just like it's just one guy. It all takes that
It
one
takes that
guy,
one
right?
guy. I think the role of Mubashir and Mudassir also they play a huge role because it's important for your band members to own the thought as well.
Absolutely.
Otherwise, it's just one guy barking like a
Market.
dog, right? That we want to make a band, we want to make big. I'm like, the fuck is wrong with you, dude? Like, what the fuck is wrong with you?
And meanwhile,
But
he
it's
has that.
important for whoever is working with you, just embraces that idea that yes, we are a band. Yes, we make good music. Yes, we are going to make good music. And yes, we will hold our identity. But that rock star mindset should only stick to the stage.
Yeah.
Once you leave that stage, once you come off that stage, you're a normal human being. Don't let that shit get to your head because you haven't achieved anything. Imagine me sitting in front of you like this and be like, yes, Adnan, what's up? And yeah, I am a rock star. Yes, I know you like my work. Yes, I'm glad that your daughter
And that
sees
would be
me.
totally legitimate too, actually.
Regardless, but
Yeah.
it doesn't suit the occasion, right? Because that's something you never expected, unless you expected that shit to happen, would have make you a magician then. But I never expected that. I
Saw that disparity a lot in the 80s and the 90s. I listened to these interviews of
Hmm.
musicians back now, like especially 80s and 70s. they had that star concept in them. Ego was very prevalent back then. Like they have that whole thing of like they have to put that persona in front of everybody whenever they go in front of the camera interviews. Musicians now, like you talk to Trent Reznor's, Maynard James Keenan's, and like these guys like at the top of the pinnacle of their work, and you talk to them and they're super humble dudes, man. They're like, I mean,
They show that star persona on stage, right? That is where
yeah,
it should be.
exactly. And then
A rock star is someone who is, when he gets on stage,
a
people
true rock star.
recognize, oh, he owns that shit. That's his place. You don't want to you don't want to be in that domain because that's the big dog on stage right there. That is your place to, and I do that. And I personally believe that when my band should take stage, they should get into that zone of being a rock star. And that is when you explode because you have all the hard work behind you, you have all the resilience and all the discipline behind you, you have been trained and you are ready to go and lift off. That stage is your lift off position. So just lift off. No one's going to stop you now. Yes, if you're lifting off when you're on the ground, that's fucked up.
Yeah. And then you crash hard too.
And then you crash hard too. Exactly. Yeah. Why lift off from some place where you like? Why? Like I just don't get it. I've seen so many musicians who come and just give you a cold shoulder, and I'm like, dude, why? Like, why are you being an asshole? Like, why? कल आपने उसी गाड़ी में बैठ के उसी उन्हीं लोगों में आगे बैठना है.
I know, but
इतनी सी इंडस्ट्री है.
Man. Especially with the Desis, it's just like there's something. We're very race very competitive. It's every time it's like it's in our blood. Brothers are competing with each other. Cousins are competing with each other. It's just like
I don't know, man. I mean, it's all about how you look at life, I guess. If you keep it simple, if you recognize, you need to recognize your strengths, you need to hide your weaknesses and address them when you need to find opportunities. That's the motive how you're supposed to grow. That's how you grow. But if you mix all of that up, you make your weaknesses your strength, you make your strengths your weaknesses. That just the balance is just, you lose the balance, you just lose everything.
Man, so I'm so glad to see these new wave of musicians, like especially have this humble and very, very, I would say, holistically and spiritually aligned.
And I think one more important thing, if one wants to showcase that persona of a rock star, let's say, like Robert Plant has on the ground. When he gets outside, when he walks, you know that's Robert Plant, bro. Then you need to achieve that pinnacle for what he is known for. You need to. 10 saal रहा है Led Zeppelin. Led Zeppelin was there for 10 years till their drummer died, and then they never played again.
Oh.
But for 10 years, they were on top of their game. So for starters, spend a good number of years on top of your game. Even strings today, bro, like Bilal Maqsood or Faisal Kapadia, when they walk, they never give you a cold shoulder. And probably the most successful band in Pakistan.
Yeah, they were the first ones to be the most humble musicians of all. They're like,
they were. Even Ali Azmat is such a humble musician, bro. Part of Junoon, such a huge man.
I saw Junoon like almost 10 times. I don't know.
When he meets people, he's very down to earth, and because he recognizes these are the people who make me who I am.
Yeah. Exactly.
What's the bloody point of just pissing them off for no good reason?
You become them.
You just allow them to be part of your life. Yes, you treat bad people in a bad way, but not every bad person is going to come your way, isn't it? 10 में से शायद एक बुरा इंसान आएगा और वो आना है, वो आएगा. मतलब ये नहीं हो सकता सब अच्छे नहीं है भाई. 10 में से एक तो बुरा ही आएगा. लेकिन आप तो अपने आप को इजी रखो ना. आप इजी रहो, खुश रहो, पार्टी करो. क्या?
Hey, any plans of coming to the United States to perform?
Probably for a visit if I ever get a chance. मेरा वीजा तो अभी फिलहाल expire हो गया. I need to reapply for the visa. But why not? I would love to come and visit different countries. And if I get a chance to play with my band in different countries, that would be a whole different experience.
If
I got my first ever national trip. Zarf ke साथ we went to play Islamabad, and that is like one of the most fundable, like one of the best moments of my life, because
really,
I had never imagined to travel with a band in an airline, go to a different place, play a gig, come back the next day. That was amazing.
one of the best things in the world, huh? So that's
Oh,
it.
crazy.
So if you ever coming out here, Dallas area, Texas area, man, dude, we got multiple venues here. I,
Hmm.
dude, I have a house where I can have audience in my place.
No,
So,
bro,
dude,
you're very kind and you're very sweet.
you're
For
welcome here in
I
United
mean,
States anytime.
I'm amazing. Like I'm out of words. I've told you before. I'm just telling you this again, that you are probably one of the best supporters of our music,
Oh, thank you, man.
and this is very sweet and very heartwarming for us to meet people, or to just for them to tell us that we are slight part of their life. We never
Yes,
had imagined it. We
part of our
never thought of it. We never assumed it even कि हाँ यार, कल अमेरिका में बैठा कोई बंदा मुझे बोलेगा यार तुम्हारे गाने मेरी बेटी सुनती है,
I
तो
know, right? It's crazy.
it's crazy, लेकिन it's amazing and very heartwarming. So I am honestly very humbled, and I personally love your daughters and everyone who likes to listen to our work and who enjoys our work and listens to whatever reasons they listen to. Uh, However they affiliate our work with whoever they affiliate our work with, as long as they're listening to our work, we are grateful.
So sneak peek. Let's talk about sneak peek. So next two songs, when are they releasing? How are they releasing? Are the audio?
So the next one is called Bachpan.
Oh, interesting.
Bachpan, and it's something similar family, a vibe of Dekho-ish kind.
Oh,
So
nice.
I hope people will like that. And then there is another one that's called Adhura. That's the last song of the album. Uh, and then we'll wind up the album
That's more
Zindagi. The
Ao
album
Now
name
vibe.
is Zindagi.
That's more like Ao Now vibe in Adhura.
No, no. That's very different as well. We tried our best to do whatever the fuck we can.
Yeah, you
these are
guys
the
go
bas-
different
these
races,
are
man.
basically the structures we came up in the first go when we started working on the album. So whatever you're listening to on the album right now, in terms of Dekho, in terms of Dhoond Raha and everything, there are the songs that we collectively created in the jam room in the first go. That we were like, okay, how are you feeling this? You pitch in your own individual instincts, and then we're gonna tune it somewhere here and there. And that is how the album was created. And similarly फिर आगे के गाने भी हमारे इसी तरह बन रहे हैं, and कोशिश करते हैं कि हम वैसे का वही
I
essence
love
लेके
your original content, man. And what about the videos? The videos gonna be releasing with those two, or
there's a video as well. There is a video, वही animation videos होंगी. So basically there's a theme for Zindagi. The Zindagi is following a particular theme set. There's a color palette and a theme, and an animation concept that's going in for Zindagi. So we are trying to find the remaining songs in the same palette as well. And once that's done, then we're gonna kick start with a new sound. पर्दा से जो काम start हो रहा है, that's a different sound. That's
what
a
do you
new
mean?
sound. I mean in all ways.
Oh man, what do you
you
love?
there is there is there is no acoustic element anymore when it comes to parda.
Wow,
So that's like
so you're
a,
rocking at those.
a very, yeah, we are just going down that alley in that particular song
The
set.
Dhoon Raha kind of another Dhoon Raha coming.
Dhoond Raha is still something alternative.
That's the most
Uh,
different song. I
yeah,
mean,
it is. Yeah. Something familiar. But I remember Mubashir telling me कि if someone says that is Dhoond Raha your heaviest songs, play them parda.
oh seriously? Wow.
Yeah. So that is how I would rather put parda. And but we are looking forward to Bachpan. Bachpan is coming out. Shout out to Saad Hayat for producing this album. He's been a great producer on this album, and he has worked immensely hard on this album and making sure that our sound sounds the way it sounds for this particular album. And Azim for so basically you asked if Azim is joining in or not. So Azim basically featured on this album. Azim featured as a drummer on this album, In Parda, we have featured Kambar Kazmi, who played drums for E sharp. So distinct sound
Why?
elements का
So
जो
I
मैं
know
आपसे
that guy.
बात
I know that. I've
yeah
seen.
so जो distinct sound element का मैं जो बात कर रहा हूँ वो basically इस तरह है because the drummer changed, the sound kind of changed, song elements, lyrics, the whole fundamental structure, however we put it. So a lot of things changed. The producer changed as well. So Parda is produced by Umair Dar. So
Oh, interesting.
there's
That guy from
yeah
Aleph, right?
the guy from Aleph, yes, the guy from Aleph, and so obviously new different producer, different drummer, different sound, different एक बिल्कुल ही आपकी identity, and then there is Zindagi ki identity that you listen to. So we have a lot of things going on, and hopefully,
And that's
but Bachpan is coming in. Bachpan is coming in the first week of June. Bachpan is dropping in, and बस so उसके बाद फिर आहिस्ता आहिस्ता देखें आगे बढ़ते हैं.
well, that's gonna be our next. That's gonna be our summer song. You know,
Yeah,
couple of
hopefully,
summer songs. Like,
hopefully,
I mean, no,
hopefully.
they will be. You know, they will be because it's like we're tapped in. It's like whatever music comes out, we're tapped in. So it's the idea of like it's not about liking or not liking your song. It's about how far
Yeah.
you're going with that journey of your song. You know, and then
Mhm.
both get addicted. That's crazy. I don't know if you're interested in children or you ever had
No,
experience.
no, I am personally, I think children are the most purest form of human life, bro. Like
Oh my God.
whatever they say, that's like the purest form.
The
If they
craziest
love it, they love it.
so the
They
craziest
can't pretend.
so the
So if they're
craziest
loving it, that's more than heartwarming for us.
I know that the craziest thing is when you see your child doing kind of things you do
Yeah.
without teaching them. Like getting hypnotized to a song in depth is come to like automatically genetically in her like me. And she's just like me. She gets addicted to songs and albums
That's crazy.
for
That's
years
that's
sometimes.
crazy.
So like Dark
That's
Side of the Moon, I'm
crazy.
still addicted to.
Even I would I might not be, but I never got addicted to my own songs.
That's
To be
crazy.
very honest, although I listen to them a lot because I'm always like, क्या change नहीं, because
Oh, you're
there
listening
is a
to my
critical
and
element always
you're
going
not
in there.
enjoying
But
them, and you're not enjoying them.
I've started enjoying my own work now. I'm like, okay, this has been released, put it out there, this gone. Now
Enjoy,
enjoy it as a listener.
enjoy.
Let's see how that. And I always try to shuffle my set list. I'm like pitching in my songs and a lot of songs in between, and I'm just letting play the set list. I'm like, जब आएगा तो उस वक्त देखूंगा कि क्या vibe चल रही है. तो
Oh, dude, we put your songs when we're driving. You know, your driving is perfect songs. Like you can just
no,
go
thank you,
the
man.
whole way, man.
It's very heartwarming.
No,
It's
absolutely.
very
And keep
heartwarming.
producing and keep in touch. So first of all,
For
just like
sure, bro.
that's such a tackle.
It's
Like
important. It's important to have support systems around you. That's what drives creatives.
absolutely.
Or that's like the only thing that drives creatives. जैसे मुदस्सिर ने कहा ना कि I won't quit because I know there are three people who are listening to my work.
Yep.
So that's what the driving force is. That's why we want to do music at least. पैसे भी बन जाएंगे. अब तो I'm on that stage. I'm like हाँ यार ठीक है, बना लेंगे.
Honestly, if you really ask my personal opinion, is Pesa cannot even touch what the potential of music is ever. And that's what's so
True.
special about music, you know. So it
True.
can never be tamed by money, you know. But we all need money, right, to survive in
We
this.
all need money. It's an essential part of life. You need money to survive and do some things.
Dude, you're gonna be
लेकिन वही
media
बात है
director with some ad firm, dude. You're gonna be making all that money. Don't worry about it. You know, you're like,
I'm gonna try my way. I'm gonna
oh,
find my way to
no,
fund my
man. You're
passion.
gonna,
I'll find
you know
it.
what you're gonna be doing, right? After this degree, you're gonna be working as a media director for some company, either at the back end, the front end, or the marketing department, and you're developing new campaigns and interactive campaigns.
I'll just be waiting for to hit 6, and I'll be like, I'm out of here. I'll see you tomorrow at 9.
I know,
I'm
right?
heading out to my jam room now.
You're a musician. You're a rock star from inside, man. So you continue.
Yeah.
And dude,
We're
honestly,
all we're all rock stars living a life.
man, I've been looking out for you for a very long time. I just couldn't track you down. And when I finally tracked you down and we started talking, we have not stopped talking. and I'm totally.
Bro, it's all your love and all your support. I'm honestly humbled. I did not expected such enthusiasm to come my way, particularly from my work, because
I'm an older
it's
guy.
been so long, right? You're doing this for, like I've been doing this for 8 9 years now, and आप एक time आता है where you're like I just want to work. I don't want to think about who's listening to it, whether they're liking it, whether they're not liking it. Although I still have that thing when I post something on Instagram or something, I'm like looking for how many likes did I get. Like, and I'm trying to get rid of that habit now as well. I'm like, कर दिया post, let it go. Just it's out there, put it out there. जिसको सुनना होगा वो सुन लेंगे. आपका काम है आप काम बनाए. आपका
Music
काम है आप
works.
अपना काम
Music
create करें.
works so different, man. And music and social media, man. That's what I'm saying. Social media is a commoditized version of interaction right now, and
True.
music is sacred. That's two different things.
It's very unfortunate, I guess. It's
Oh,
very unfortunate. It's unfortunate because music is now is being related to a commodity, right?
yeah.
Which is crazy. In the West, in the early 70s or 80s, people used to go and listen to rock music or rock concerts because they wanted to listen to Guns N' Roses, not because an XYZ organizer is hosting a rave event. Nowadays, people go to events because they get a chance to do whatever the fuck that happens there.
Man,
And it's rare
Kurt
that they're
Cobain,
listening to it.
Kurt Cobain and Jeff Buckley died producing music.
Yeah.
Honestly, these guys were the gods of music of their own time. And then we're talking about Kylie Jenner has 350 million people following her, and there's no sense to it. There is no sense to it, man. Like, who is Kylie Jenner? You're talking about 300 million plus followers, and there is no like the music. She doesn't do anything pretty much, and she just endorses products from her family. And Kim Kardashian, seriously, if you look at her life right now, and then you look at the views, she just sneezes, and her sneeze is
Is
multiple
the breaking
times.
news of the day.
It's the breaking news of the day. So when you
I
see
know.
this kind of things in life, you just realize how surface that thing is, and as a deeper artist, philosophical artist like yourself, it's just like, man, you
I
go.
think again, Kim Kardashians or Kylie Jenners have a complete different way out for life, right? What they want to achieve, whatever
They have
path they
achieved quite a
chose,
bit of it, actually.
yeah, right? Like the intention part that we discussed earlier, the intentions, how what is your intention behind a thing? Linkin Park की intention क्या थी when they were coming out with Hybrid Theory?
And
Uh,
Chester
Panic at the
Bennington.
Disco की intention क्या थी when they were coming out with their music? You have so many artists. Black Sabbath, bro. उनकी क्या Ozzy Osbourne की क्या इंटेंशन थी? वो तो पागल था.
Metallica.
वो तो genuinely पागल था. क्या इंटेंशन होगी और क्या वो होगा, लेकिन वो बस पागल थे. They just wanted to do music. They found a break. They got a chance to do it in front of 10 people. Then they got it to perform it in front of 100, turn into 1,000, turn into million.
Man, but there's once in a lifetime Kurt Cobain's come in the world, man. And these guys are so pivotal of changing the spectrum of music forever.
And
And
what कितनी अजीब सी बात है. Kurt Cobain probably he knew his potential. People recognized his potential after he died.
after he died,
How
it's
how odd is it that you still sit and you're like, wow, Nirvana was amazing, bro. मतलब obviously
and
that is very obvious.
how many kids killed themselves after the exact way he died? They this was a global phenomenon when he died. Because dude,
It's
he's representing all of those geeks and dudes, people who were pushed into different directions because they were nerds, or he represented those people who were bullied in their lives, and he came out with his music and bullied them back through music. It was a completely different cultural shift in terms of music because he changed
Hmm.
that whole 80s rock star thing
And
to more musical.
the fun part, he never said that he is the representatives. He's like he is representing the oppressed ones. He
Not
was
at
like,
all.
dude, I am oppressed. I've been oppressed in my life.
And
This
depressed.
is what I know what to do, and this is what I'm doing.
And he dealt with like music was his only savior of all his depression throughout his life. Music was
Exactly.
his only.
It recalls me of one of the interviews of Ed Sheeran he did with Howard Stern. in which he said that you don't need to have a plan B when you're doing music. You just need to have a plan A. Once you don't, when you never have a plan B, you won't be diverted or distracted. When hardships comes your way or anything, so you won't be like, oh, I can do that thing, so I might just not do this thing. That's the most. If you want to make big in music, that's the way of doing it. Don't have a plan B. Your plan
Absolutely.
A should be that you want to be a musician. In order to be a musician, you need to do certain things that define you as a musician, and you
Absolutely.
should be good at it. That's the most important part.
That's the most important part besides dedication, right? I've seen some dedicated
Besides
people who are
dedication,
even
oh, for sure.
so
You sit in your room and you say that I want to be a musician won't help.
no, it won't. Execution is the most important thing too.
Exactly.
Anyway, sir, so we're crossing. I don't know how long, man. I don't care. It's just like
It was fun. It
it
was
was
fun.
so much fun, bro. I mean, I would love to fucking continue to go on this, and I'd like to have multiple sessions with you, like talking, philosophizing on different things on media
For
theory,
sure.
and we can do like your immigrant part too, because I'm pretty interested in your insights of what have you found in terms of being an immigrant, and saw
Mhm.
that disparity in terms of being an immigrant there, and then going back
Mhm.
to Pakistan and what you feel there. So that's another day topic, but
Episode. That's
I
another episode for everyone.
and I'm so thankful for your time and your
Oh,
dedication
that's perfectly fine. Thank you for having me, bro. It
and your
was
music.
my pleasure. Thank you
Besides
for having
anything,
me.
thank you for your music, bro. I mean, that brings happiness to our lives, honestly.
Thank you for listening to our work, bro.
So,
I'm always gonna just stand right next to you, regardless of what I do. You are a good support system, and me and on behalf of Zef, we are very thankful for
we
all
need
your
a
love and
T-shirt.
love
We
and
need a
support.
T-shirt at some point so that we
For
can.
sure, bro. Once I go back to Pakistan, I'll make sure to send one tea out at your place,
Thank you.
both for your daughters and for you.
Thank you,
Thank
sir.
you so much.
Appreciate it, sir.
Thank you so much for having me. Have
All
a
right.
good day.
Take care, sir.
Bye.
Bye.